After an ugly 19-17 win over Minnesota and a quarterback gone for the season, where does Carolina go from here? Let's talk about it. What's going on, Tar Heel Nation? My name is Nathan. I am one half of your Heel Brothers. And boy, does it not feel good to be 1-0 on the season. No matter what way it took us to get there, we are 1-0. But now the question that's floating around, where does Carolina go from here? On the defense, I feel like we have less questions. On the offense, for the first time in 5-6 years, we have the most questions. Outside of Amari and Hampton, nobody could get going. The offense was very stagnant, very boring. And Chip Lindsey, his play calling is being called into question, even by myself. I was wondering a little bit of what was going on from him during that game. Got a quarterback that's now gone in Max Johnson, and you hate to absolutely see that. It pains me to see, and you wanted the best quarterback out there possible, and you never want to see one of your guys go down. And this is something that Carolina has not had to really deal with over the last 5-6 years since Mac's return, has been these types of injuries. So prayers to you, Max. Hopefully everything gets better, and you're able to come back and play better than ever. But where does Carolina go from here? They got their week 1 matchup taken care of. They beat Minnesota. They were able to get through all thick and thin, they were able to get that win, which was huge for them and huge for the program, because you can't win them all until you win 1-0. But let's look over the next 3 weeks. Charlotte, NC Central, and JMU, all games that are at home. And this is going to be key, I believe, for the Tar Heels to start to figure it out from here, because Carolina now has to look at the situation and say, okay, defensively, there's a few things that we need to clean up for sure, especially some things in the secondary. For the most part, you felt like the D-line played pretty well. Secondary's got to tighten up a little bit in late game situations. As we saw, Minnesota was able to march down the field pretty well right there at the very end of the game. But also, Carolina's got to get their offense going. So how do we do that? You got to take this time, and you got to get confidence behind Connor Harrell, because I love Connor to death. I am really looking forward to seeing what this guy can do, and I think he can bring a big-time dynamic with his feet, being able to scramble, take advantage of that 4-4, and bring another option for this offense to be able to use and for teams to have to scout against, kind of like they've had to over the last few years with Sam and Drake. But now, can you get him confident? Because when they were doing, when he took over the offense, man, and he got back there, and you could see the look in his face. I remember saying it during the watch party that I didn't really like the way his face was looking, because you could see he looked like a deer in headlights. Like he was nervous, like he was scared a little bit. One of the snaps he took, handing off to Amari and Hampton, he snapped it, got snapped kind of high, and he just kind of threw it into Amari inside. The dude's got to calm down a little bit. He's got to get comfortable being able to take control of the offense, having live reps, live bullets, live guys coming at him, trying to take his head off. We need to get him used to that. So you got to be careful, because you also don't want to get him hurt as well. And we saw the one game that he did start, being the West Virginia game, he did get injured halfway through that game, and it really hindered him a big time. But now you need to take him and get him more comfortable. And not only that, get this offense, start spreading it around a little bit. Start to spread it out, because you're going to have to trust your quarterback in Connor Harrell or Jacoby Criswell. Whatever happens there, you never know, which could be an option. We still don't know yet. But you got to get them comfortable with moving this offense around, because if you become a team that's going to try and run Amari and Hampton 30 carries per game, you're not going to win a lot of games this year. That's just kind of the main part of it. So Carolina needs to take this time right now to understand defensively, fix a few things. Let's just fix a few things. And then from there, let's start working. Offensive line needs to get a little bit better at pass protection. You felt good about the run block. You thought they did a really good job, especially for the first time going up against a team like Minnesota, being able to score 129 rushing yards off of 30 carries from Amari and Hampton. Obviously, you want the carries to be a little bit less, but You felt really good about the run block. Got to get better on pass protection, and just start to gel a little bit more. And also, you need to get this offense rolling. Get it going. Chip needs to – I understand that Chip, going into the Minnesota game, may have been trying to play a sense of, hey, let's just don't mess up because we know what we can do. We know that these guys probably aren't going to go score 30 points on us, so let's just don't mess up. Let's just don't do anything stupid. Now, having lesser opponents in Charlotte, NC Central, and JMU coming to town, this is going to be your time to get your guys comfortable and to be able to spread it out more and really get that continuity back on offense. Because if Carolina can get complimentary on both sides of the football and continue to win games, looking at what we saw out of week 1, the ACC is pretty daggone wide open. And I'm just saying, I understand it's week 1, but if teams are going to start playing like that, then I think Carolina's got a legitimate shot here to get into that ACC title contention picture. But you got to get the offense shored up, number 1. You got to get confident with your quarterback. Defense has got to continue to play well. We really enjoyed their performance in week 1. It's got to continue into future weeks if they're going to do anything. If Carolina can do these things coming out of the next 3 weeks, that gives you a lot of time, a good buffer between now and ACC play when you go on the road against Duke. And you like that. Honestly, you're thankful now that the schedule's laid out the way that it is, because now you can really get comfortable. The quarterback conversation is out of the window so far that we know. I understand that Jacoby Criswell will be a part and a factor in this. I believe they're just going to bring him up to be, very solid backup quarterback to Connor, because I believe Connor, this is his job now. This isn't anybody else's. This is Connor's. So now get that going. Get the offense moving. Keep Amarian Hampton off the field too much. I don't think he needs to be playing a whole lot over the next 3 weeks. 10, 15 snaps maybe in the game, and get him out of there just because you don't want to get him hurt. And the fresher he is, the better he's going to be, especially in ACC play. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I want to know, what do you think Carolina needs to do going on from here now that we're finally in game week? It's going to be the first game at home. Can't wait. Going to be there and really looking forward to it. Hopefully, if any of you happen to be there at the Charlotte game, we can run into each other, say what's up, and have a good time, man. So looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments box below. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. And as always, go Heels. I'm good,